Yeah, like, you know, I think you were going to say something. I'm so nervous.
Yeah, me too. Don't worry.
Hi.
Hi.
We're actresses from Indonesia.
Cool, nice to meet you.
And we would like to ask you some questions regarding the movie.
Yes, of course. Nice to meet you.
First of all, why you guys choose Brie out of all the candidates? I mean, this is the very important role, yeah?
Yeah, you know, Brie was already cast by Marvel before we even came on as directors, and she's really one of the reasons that we got excited about taking this job. And you know, she's such an amazing actress. She has so much humanity, and you know, we've always wanted to work with her ever since we saw her in Short Term 12. We never thought that it would be on a big superhero movie at the time.
Something new for her, you know?
Yeah, it's something new for us because we
Yeah.
both come from the indie art film world, but it was part of the draw.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
you came from the
festival
yeah,
films.
festival film.
Yeah.
And what's the difference?
Yeah, between directing like this commercial big movie and
Yeah.
from
They're
the...
exactly the same.
Just the same?
No, I'm kidding. This is huge. This is like the biggest kind of movie that there is in the world. I mean, and so going from our previous 4 films, which some of them seemed pretty big to us, we had no idea how big movies could be. So yeah, it's a huge. There's a huge difference, mostly the amount of people that you have to work with. We're used to just working with the 2 of us and a small group of people. In this movie, there are dozens and hundreds of other people that we have to interact with. So that was challenging at first, but it was also great because there were so many wonderfully talented people that we got to work with.
That's true. That's
How did you feel when they finally announced you that you got this part? I mean, this is, yeah, you got a leading role that represents as the first woman superhero who have its own movie. I mean, this is so huge.
represent all the women. I
Yeah.
mean, you're a hero, you know. How did you feel?
How
when
did you
found
feel?
out?
It was pretty surreal because I had signed on to do this like maybe a year and a half before we did the Comic-Con announcement, and I wasn't allowed to tell anybody. So no one in my life knew.
Oh.
And I had to fly to San Diego to that Comic-Con and not tell anybody. And
About it.
No, yeah, I couldn't tell anybody. So it wasn't until I was on the side of the stage when they wanted me to walk out that I was like, what if they boo? Like, this could go horribly wrong
no,
at
they're
any
not gonna
moment.
be-
But it was awesome. It was such a great way of doing it. I feel like because my job is actually more personal than I've previously realized, because you make a movie on set and it's not like there's no audience, there's nobody there. So the moments like last night at the Singapore fan event or at the Comic-Con, it's awesome because you get to have moments with the fans and actually see the reaction and see how much this character means.
How can you look so young in this movie? I mean, is it the makeup or is it
No, they have
CGI?
a process. It's a thing called Lola.
What?
Would you like to explain what Lola is?
I have no idea what Lola is actually. I just know they put dots on my face and they send it
Dots,
somewhere
okay.
and then Lola takes
Yeah,
care
I
of
saw
it.
the dots.
Yeah.
Oh, it's for okay. Then I
that's
know.
great.
Yeah.
Did you? I mean, the suit and everything. How did it feel? You know, did you like it?
It's very uncomfortable. It looks really cool, but it doesn't always feel cool.
Yeah,
Like, is
I
it
feel
tight?
you. I feel you.
It's tight, yeah. It's tight and it's like rubber. So it's like everything requires like 40% more power in order to get through it.
You doing? I mean, mostly the stunts yourself. That's
did a
even
lot of
more
them, yeah.
amazing. How did you manage to do that? You know?
I mean, I think I couldn't have done it if I hadn't done all the strength training I did. I trained for 9 months before, and
I
it
saw the
really,
videos. Yeah.
really helped a lot.
Pushed up the
Push the Jeep, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so cool.
It's cool.
amazing.
Yeah.
But that really helped a lot because I was strong enough that I could muscle through the costume. And I got more used to it as time went on. But at the beginning, it was just like so hard. You just feel like, oh man, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this fight sequence in this armor?
But you did it.
But you did it, yeah,
Yeah,
which is
it's
part of the
amazing,
fun,
but
is
9
like
months
getting
paid off,
through
you
it,
know?
getting through to the other side and accomplishing something you
Seeing
didn't know
all
if you
the
could do.
fans liking what you do, that's amazing.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
cool.
it pays off, you know? You guys are like 2 directors. I mean, how did you guys, you know, communicate, respect each other's decisions, and how
Yeah.
did you, you know?
That's a really good question. You know, we're collaborators by nature, and film is such a collaborative art form. So I feel like it, you know, especially a movie like this, like Ryan said, with just so many voices and and so many talented people who you let into your process. And I think it helped us jumping into this, actually having had the experience of working together in our partnership. We just know each other and trust each other so much, and it's just a safe place to be completely honest. And it helps us just having another person to stay grounded and remember what the heart of the movie and the heart of the character really is, especially when you're on a set with hundreds of people and it's your first day and you're kind of like, oh my God, this is crazy. It helped it actually feel quite a lot like making a small movie, because once you get into it, it's just, you know, actors in a room, and, you know, maybe it's a blue screen and it's going to be space one day, but it's still just actors in a room trying to tell a story and trying to be true.
Yeah, that's amazing.
What did you have to do to get in the shapes besides the working out? I mean,
To get into the character.
to get into the character. Yeah.
I also, so I mean, I read the comics, of course, but then I also went to an Air Force base, and so I got to go
That's
up.
real? Like you did
Is it-
that? Like
Like I went and
Is it like
flew in a
you fly-
plane.
Oh.
Yeah, I
Oh.
went up in a jet. I got to fly it a little
Okay.
bit.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
by yourself?
No. I mean, I did fly it for a second by myself, but
Okay,
there was
okay.
a pilot who flew it most of the
Okay.
flight. Yeah, but I went up and got to experience like the G forces of. We got to 6.5 Gs, and we simulated a dogfight. I puked a lot. It was awesome.
And how does Nick Fury inspire you personally? You know, has he ever changed you
change
as
you
a
in
person?
Changed me? He changed the way I dress. Other than that, you know, I know Nick Fury is a fictional character, and there are some aspects of his personality that are mine. I'm a little bit stubborn, you know.
Stubborn.
I can be.
It can be. It can be stubborn.
Yes.
Okay, that's great.
Okay.
How
Do you guys use the same formula like Guardians of the Galaxy, or
the
like, I mean,
colors,
the universe, the colors?
the gradings, or is
Yes.
this something new for the MCU fans?
It's a little different. I mean, we're set in the 90s. You guys probably weren't even around in the 90s, were you? Were you born in the 90s?
I'm 90s.
No, I'm 2000.
Okay, you just missed it.
You just missed
I
it.
know.
So you'll get to go back in time and experience it.
Yeah.
I know.
But this movie, I mean, you may not remember, but there were video stores everywhere in the 90s where we had VHS boxes. So there's a Blockbuster video in this movie where she crashes through the roof of. And it's really fun because we had fun recreating that set and building, like, putting all the VHS boxes all over the place. 90s music is going to feature really prominently in the
That's
movie.
amazing. Even though I don't know, but
Yeah, well, you'll learn. You'll hear it.
Yeah.
You'll probably recognize
You
some
might
of the songs.
recognize a song or two. There's some classics in there.
probably.
But you know, and in terms of kind of the color palette and the vibe of it, it is its own thing. It kind of has more of a naturalistic, grounded place within the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We did a lot of real locations shooting, and that's one of the great things about Marvel is that all of their movies have their, you know, they all are kind of Marvel movies,
Yeah,
and then they
yeah.
all have their own specific
that's
take
true,
on
that's
it,
true.
and that's
They have
really
it. Yeah,
fun.
yeah, that's true. Any other differences between you and Captain Marvel?
Yeah.
Well, she's been teaching me a lot, you know? I
How
feel
does
like I
this
grew. I grew a lot on this movie, the making of this movie. Because there's something about, I mean, you know what I'm talking about. When you start to play a character, you sort of
You get
like
into it.
You get
Yeah.
into it, and it
Yeah,
makes
yeah.
you think and go like, oh, actually, these are qualities that are way better than how I think internally.
yeah.
Like, I like the way Carol thinks. I want to think more like that.
Yeah, like, you know. I think you were going to say something. You have starred so many movies in Marvel, you know.
Yeah, what's so special about this one?
Yeah.
This one, well, origin story. You find out a lot more information about, you know, my character in particular, who Nick Fury
yeah.
is, where he came from.
Yeah.
And you meet this wonderful character who's almost maybe the most powerful character in the Marvel universe, and who she is and what their relationship is.
Yeah.
How that grows and what that will mean to the Marvel universe going forward. You know, it's kind of a setup for what's going to happen, and I guess the movie everybody's waiting for at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I
Avengers.
can't wait.
I can't wait.
wait.
We really want to watch.
Yeah.
They'll be
It's
back.
amazing.
You'll get to talk to them.
Are you going to be back?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't know.
We'll see.
You don't want to, just
I
a
want
little
to just tell you,
bit.
no,
Okay, all right.
no hints.
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay,
Thank
all
you
right.
so
Thank you
much.
so
Thank you so much for your
It's been a
time.
great pleasure.
All right. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much for your
Thank you.
time.
It was really
Thank you so
nice to
much.
meet you guys.
Nice to meet you.